episode 29 of the Daddy Brigade podcast. I'm Keith the Bearded Tank.
I'm Zach the Tactical Gnome.
We got another guest.
Another guest.
Another guest.
Another guest.
Yeah, who we got this time, Zach?
I don't know. Why don't you introduce him? Because I've introduced all of them.
Yeah, well, no. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you talk more than me.
Shut up.
All right, this week we have Josh from Opie and the Smokies. Say hello, Josh.
What's going on, everybody?
Not a whole lot. Yay!
We don't have a cheering background yet.
Nope. All right. So we'll start off. Give us a little background: who you are, where you're from, all that fun jazz.
All right, just a normal guy. Moved to Tennessee for my job about 6 years ago now. Always been called Opie my whole life, but didn't really know I was ever going to start anything named Opie and the Smokies until I moved down to Tennessee, of course. And when I did that, I was just kind of shooting in my backyard, wasn't really doing anything special, just kind of recording what I was doing. And I thought of the name Opie and the Smokies, so that's when I created the Facebook page. And still at that time had no direction of what the page was going to be. And a few months later, I came across Morale Patch Classifieds, which we all know.
Oh, yeah.
And figured out that world pretty quickly, so I made, as everybody knows, the Trump Train. And that was my first patch that I designed and released, and that thing pulled out around Election Day. And that kind of got me into the gun industry, but through patches, in a way.
Yay,
so
patches.
We started making patches for a few of the bigger name companies in the industry, and that's kind of just led to more and more things. And they were asking why, if we had all these pages, if we weren't doing reviews and stuff as well. So we just kind of took that on in the last year, and it's really been taking off for us.
What was the first thing that you reviewed?
I want to say it was the 365.
Okay.
How do you like that
Go
gun?
back and check. It was the 365 or the Glock 45, but I'm pretty sure it was the 365.
How do you like the 365?
It's a pretty nice gun, man. I enjoyed the concept behind it, like having the more capacity with the, I think it's 12 rounds in the standard, and then definitely was a smaller footprint compared to a Glock 43 as well. So they kind of had everything beat, and there was no arguing with the fact that it was, I think, gun of the year 2 years in a row.
Nice.
Yeah, the wife would like a 365. Eventually, I told her I'll get her one.
I'd really like to have the XL. So the 365, personally, for me, is a little bit too small. But I would definitely rock the XL every day.
Actually, I knew about the XL coming out due to running into somebody at the USCCA Expo about 4 months before it got introduced. He told me, he's like...
So you got the sneak peek?
Well, they didn't have one there, but he's like, hold off, they're introducing the XL. And I was like, oh. And then I also found out about the 15-round magazine for the standard one.
You don't have to yell.
I'm not. That's my talking voice.
That's why I picture
Now,
more
is
than
that's made by a different company, isn't it?
I don't believe so. I think it's the from SIG.
Okay, now I'm thinking of the Shield Arms 15-rounder for the 43X and the 48.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That's a lot of rounds for that little gun.
Yeah.
I like that little gun.
So, he told us a little bit about Opie and the Smokies and what was. I mean, have you always liked to shoot? Has it been something that is Opie? Starting Opie and the Smokies just kind of something that got you rolling heavier into it, or is it something you did on the regular before, or what?
Yeah, I was kind of... So my job definitely put me directly into it. So I'm an ATM guy, service a bunch of ATMs on my own, and that kind of made me get the mindset quickly that I needed to get a gun, and also not just get a gun, I needed to learn how to use it and continue to learn how to use it, because it's not like riding a bike, as we all know. If you don't go out there and practice or do your dry fire and stuff, you really lack in your skill level. So it diminishes quickly.
Yep.
And really got fond of training and going to classes and doing the run and gun type of stuff, and I think that really helps with our videos too, because we're not just out there staying stationary shooting, and we're actually out there enjoying our time and putting the guns to the test. And
Yeah, a little bit of action.
Using them like everybody wants to go out there and use them.
I will have to.
Yeah,
I would have to say, being an ATM guy would probably definitely make me want to carry a gun.
Yeah, and before I actually had my official Tennessee residence, I had to pull my gun twice, and one of them was at a job here in Knoxville, and I went and took my carry permit course here, because with the Indiana permit, you can have, I believe it's 12 months from moving with your Indiana permit still being valid.
Yep.
So I waited the whole 12 months and then went and took my class. And when I did that, I brought up this story, and they had said, well, what if they had a really good lawyer and this argued that they had came in to, to take chip or to buy more chips or something? And that really made me think. I was like, holy cow, like this is more than just carrying a gun and shooting it. This is, having to think about everything else in a matter of a split second and make sure you make the right decision.
Yeah.
So, stress shooting, all that stuff, man, if you guys can go to force on force, that it's always a big eye-opening experience. I don't think anything can ever get you completely ready, but anything you can do to make you a little bit more ready, I say do it.
I'm trying to find out when, if there's going to be another force on force class up by where I live here, because I don't live too far from, well, actually both of us, but I'm a little closer. Don't live too far from the Alliance police training facility where everybody has, at least instructor-wise, been at least once. So Varg does a really cool force-on-force training, I guess, over there. And
That'd be an epic one to take. We went up there for individual CQB, and that was one of the most grueling classes I've ever taken in my life. And it was only, I think I shot less than 30 rounds.
yeah.
Wow.
Their shoot house is pretty nice, I hear.
Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely goals to have on our range in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I'm excited to go over there eventually, and regardless of what class I take, I think it'll be fun going over there, and being that it's not too far from my house.
Yeah, they just hired on a new instructor. At least they just announced it today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mr. Sizelove. So I think he was a Army Ranger.
Oh, nice.
But we got a pretty awesome team over there of instructors between Chappie and Doc, and now adding Sizelove to it. I think they've got a pretty epic team.
Nice. So, what do your training habits look like?
Severely lacking lately with the kid.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd like to go to the range about twice a week. I'm sorry, man. My chair just started squeaking tonight for some reason. I don't know if you guys could hear that.
Yeah,
I'm
squeaking in anticipation. It's like,
breathing.
oh, I'm on video!
But yeah, I used to go to the range twice a week, and then right now I'm lucky if I can get out there once a week. But with all the videos and stuff, we're still trying to find that balance of filming good content, but also making ourselves better with each shot.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the principle you need to live by. It's cool to run a gun and make it look good for the gram, but if you're just wasting bullets, you're just wasting your time and energy on making yourself better too.
Yeah.
And I'm very guilty of doing that, so I have to catch myself and stop and do a build drill or do a dot torture and try to force myself into doing these good habits to just continue that skill on.
Yeah.
But dry fire, man, I'm the biggest supporter of dry fire. I think if you can do 15 draws a day if you're carrying a gun before you go out in the morning, it takes less than 2 minutes, and it's very easy to maintain that skill level, and it gets you used to every different kind of clothing you're wearing.
Right.
How do you like using the Manus X now?
It's pretty cool, man. I actually got it right here beside me. I was going to sit here and probably play with it a little bit while we're sitting here talking.
I absolutely love the thing.
We could do what?
I love the thing. I think it's
Yeah,
awesome.
They're awesome.
It is. It's a game changer, and I think it really helps keep your dry fire game honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can sit there, first 25 shots, I'm really into it, but then I'll catch myself just kind of watching the TV and shooting the figures on the TV and being lazy with it, and that's not really making anything better.
Yeah, and the man will
If
be like,
anything,
oh, that's a
it's making things worse
76.
and defeating what you just did.
Yeah. Yeah, your first 25 shots, 93, 92, 84, 52. Oh, what did I do?
I got a -4 the other day.
I
somehow.
did too. Every once in a while when I re-rack, re-rack, it'll like register that it was a shot and it'll be like negative something. I'm like, what?
Yeah, not like that. Can you erase that?
Yeah.
I want to just brought my average down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
And I think it's cool how they have the community thing set up. We still need to add each other on there so we can track each other, but I think that's even a better option to have your friends who are into shooting and stuff, keeping them honest and everybody together, keeping each other into it and making sure they're putting in the work.
Yeah, so you can see if they haven't shot today, if they haven't done dry fire today, hey. Yeah. Yeah, like when...
You can practice your support hand or your primary hand whenever you're sitting there doing your laundry or your, cooking dinner for the night. You only need one hand to use the mammoths.
Yeah, he's been getting on me because I haven't practiced in a couple days.
I'll do, 25 rounds or so, and then I'm okay, let's see. Has he done anything? Oh, no. Text Zach. Zach, get the menace out, you lazy slacker.
Hey, sometimes it's because I'm just getting home from work, too.
Oh, I know.
Okay, I had to sit back up. My legs were starting to cramp. All right, let's see. Man, it's fun because
Are you guys watching comments on here, or are you watching them on YouTube?
I haven't seen any comments. Do we have comments?
I didn't know if they were.
Jay.
This is my first time using streams. Right?
Oh, there's Jay.
Mine was all hooked up.
There's Jay, Mr. Trump Train.
What's up, Jay?
We were gonna.
Doing some serotonin.
Yeah, that's what he said. Now where'd our questions go?
Hang on, I'm bringing him back up. There
Jesus, I don't know what I'm gonna say without without having it right in front of me. So getting back into a little bit of the patches, how many designs have you guys done total now?
Oh man, for ourselves, we've done every bit of like 60.
Wow.
And for including other companies, I'd say it's probably double that. So definitely over 100, maybe closer to 120.
And the sad thing is, I don't have one of your patches.
No, I don't think I do
You
either.
don't have what?
I don't have a single one of your patches, other than my Redbeard Society calling patch.
Well, that counts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, then I have one.
Yeah, so you guys don't. That's rare. You guys are in Redbeard Society don't even have a patch yet. But
Yeah.
no, that Redbeard Society was kind of a random idea, and I really love the way that that's taken off with how it's a private group of all the close knit homies, and you got a lot of the big name gun people in there too.
Oh yeah.
Being able to share their knowledge, so that's really kind of awesome to have in a small knit group.
I actually am. I haven't used my pen yet, and I'm saving it because by the end of the month I'm closing on this house, and I'm saving it specifically to sign all the closing documents.
That's how you're gonna pop its cherry.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And then I'm going to put it in a frame and hang it somewhere. No, I'll probably use it. I'll probably use it a lot more after that.
Yeah, I'd like to do another design here soon of that. The original plan was to do a Christmas release with a bunch of different patches and maybe a new pin or a bottle opener again, but like I said before, a kid kind of changes all your plans. So
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my new wristband, that's all.
yeah, see, like even that, I put the little post up saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting these wristbands," and then after that day, I got sidetracked. I haven't thought about it since.
Those things were awesome, but mine broke.
I'm gonna have to make a note of that.
Yeah, I think the thicker ones will be better than the thin ones.
Yeah, it's cool to switch it up, dude. It was nice to have the thin ones the way they were, but yeah, I agree. I think a big one, or at least like a mixture of something.
Yeah.
Because the way I was looking at it, they're so cheap, it'd be cool to make like a 5-pack of them.
Oh, wow.
So, like, you get every different color option for like $10 or something.
Can you see Jay's comments or no?
Tell Opie about the dick on the patches. He has no clue. What?
Oh, my gosh, that's right.
Yeah, when we interviewed him, he told us at the bottom left-hand corner of 4 of the plates that came with the pens, there's a little camo pattern piece that looks like a dick.
And it wasn't intentional.
Hang on.
His will be one of them, I think. I think his is one of them. Because mine wasn't, right?
No, yours didn't have it.
Remember where I put it?
That.
Actually, I think it's upstairs because I put a bunch of patches in my bag.
Oh, jeez.
So I'll have to check it here.
Yeah.
He said there's 4 of them, and I went and pulled mine out of the safe, and mine is not one, so.
Lucky. You know what's really funny, though? I'll have to show you this now. Yeah,
You'll have to do it.
So,
You'll have to do a giveaway for,
I
like,
have some really cool.
who can spot the dick on their patch. First one to show it gets, like, a free sticker or something.
First one to spot the dick.
That's a
That's awesome.
t-shirt worthy one. What is
So I had a buddy who worked at Storm Lake here in town for a little while, and he hooked me up with some barrels, and then he hooked me up with the laser engraving on them too. And he gave me a few that were marked with my original logo. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But also in the top corner here, on this side over here, top right, there is a dick coming over the mountains.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
We're gonna be able to focus.
It's not.
There we go. Yep.
Yep, there it is.
So that is laser engraved into my 17 barrel for my life.
Nice.
Nobody ever knows it's called the cock barrel, so
Nice.
it shoots better for some reason.
Hey. So I was busy with a family Christmas party and did not get to watch your review of the button break last night, which I'm going to have to watch later.
Yep.
Uh,
But from what I heard, everybody said it was good, and now you can send it to me for Christmas. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. And I was kind of a little disappointed in a sense that they're not going to be releasing that till spring, because I thought it was going to be coming a little sooner than that. Because I know you guys are all wanting one, and
Yeah,
I
that's
got
we.
messages left and
we-
right about it coming out.
Well, we just did the interview with
Cody.
Cody from over there on Saturday. So he was telling us
Yep.
about that, and I was like, look, next run or whatever you guys do, if you want to get more like info, just put my name on the list, please, because I will shoot the living hell out of it. Like, I will make range days for, like, oh, hey, I gotta go shoot this muzzle brake. You just went yesterday. I gotta go shoot this damn thing.
Yeah, this thing's awesome, man. They did a great job on it.
I
And
lo-
then they also, so this is a Storm Lake barrel as well. It's got my logo just like the 17. But they actually necked down my 19 barrel for me. So your original 19 threaded barrel would actually stick out probably about right here.
Oh, wow.
And then the brake would start. So they trimmed it down and then rethreaded it so that it would be as flush as possible to the slide.
Nice.
Yeah, they were saying
And I
they were.
believe if they release the kit, that's how all those barrels will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they said something about releasing a kit with the barrel, the brake, and everything
In the
in
spring.
the spring. Yeah.
Yep.
So other than the Manus, what else do you use for training aids?
I have a SIRT gun. That's at one of the cameraman's houses right now. He's supposed to have been using it. If he's watching, he better be using it. I also like putting a little piece of paper in the
All right, buddy.
chamber here. Have you guys seen that trick?
No, actually, I heard you say about that, and I'd never actually seen that trick.
Hang on, I'll do it for you right here. So if you take a little piece of paper, it doesn't have to be big, thick, anything like that.
Say goodnight.
You put it between where your barrel meets your
Night, buddy.
slide.
Night, butter.
Maybe I didn't get enough paper there.
Maybe not enough paper.
See, I tried it when you said that you heard him say something about it. It doesn't work in mine that I've been able to figure out.
Well, that's because you have a Springfield.
Yeah, well, I like my Springfield.
I've only done this block, by the way, too.
Ha! I'm gonna steal your other can of
Here we
Coke
go.
then.
Let's get to it.
I got regular and cherry.
I'll take the cherry,
Have at it.
since I already had a beer. You drinking any
I'll have
good...
to go get a refill.
I was gonna say, drinking any good beers tonight?
Yeah, so we went to. There we go. I got it. Casual Pint. You guys have one of those?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so it's like a, like a beer garden almost. But we went in there for my wife's birthday for a little bit, killing some time before our reservation. I picked up a 6-pack, and this is one of them.
Oh, that's
It is
cool.
a Ransack the Universe India Pale Ale. So, not bad.
I'll have to try that one.
But I got this piece of paper in here.
Okay.
It keeps your gun slightly out of battery, but not much. And then your trigger moves freely.
Oh, nice.
So you're not putting actual trigger presses or recoil, but you can practice transition and then even doing your reloads and still moving your trigger. So I like that in the sense that you don't have to reset your slide each time.
Now, does that register, like if you're using the Manus on it, does it register anything on the Manus?
I don't think so, because
Yeah.
there's no wall breaking
Right.
in there. It's basically just a free moving trigger.
Interesting.
But I did just get this. Did you guys see this I posted?
No, I didn't see that.
Is that the frame that you, your 80, Polymer 80 frame?
No, I found this randomly on a Facebook thing. Actually, Jay and his buddy were talking in one of those stipple groups.
Oh,
And
jeez.
this guy had it for sale for $260. Frame and the stipple already done. I was like, yeah, I could probably use another Lot 19 frame. Why not?
Nice.
But I like the P80s, man. Those are nice, too.
Yeah, I heard you saying you had started building one or were building a couple.
So the Manus is on my current one. Ooh, about threw that at the camera.
Wow. I think that's going to be after I get done with my 2 or 3 or how many rifles I plan on building this year. I'm going to build one of them.
Yeah, I got so many parts to build rifles. They're never going to get done.
Well, I've got an AR-9 build that I've got to get moving on. I've got I'm building a Colt Commando clone. So it'll be an 11.5, but it'll be a pistol. And then we're going to be shooting a precision match in September. And then when I get back from it, after seeing how I like it, I'm going to build a 308.
Nice. You're going to love the AR-9, man. That's one of my favorite platforms.
I specifically was building it for the wife, because she said she doesn't like the heaviness and the amount of recoil from my regular AR. And I was like, all right, I'll just build you an AR-9. And everybody's like, that's going to have a lot more recoil. I was like, just shut up and go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is brutal. Don't put one of those shockwave blades on it.
Oh, no, I'm putting a SBA 3.
Nice. That's what I've switched mine over to, and it's so much better.
I just need to build one for Stevie.
You just need to help or just build rifles with me.
Yeah.
You know what? We just need to go get our FFL.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
Yep.
Let's see here. Went through that one. Who's your favorite patch maker? Since you started with all patches, who's your favorite patch maker?
Aside from yourself, because obviously
I
that's number
really
one.
like Tactical Gent. I got really close to a full collection there for a while, and then came up with some bills that needed to be paid, which is one of the great things about the patch world, man. If you're buying some of these big makers' patches, they're more of an investment than just a hobby. So I was able to bring back 3 times what I paid for my tactical gent patches at the time.
Wow.
And
it
was crazy. I had a lot of money invested, so I had over $1,000 invested in my tac gent collection, even going back to when he had Martech 4. And that was when I was really heavy, like putting a patch out almost every other week, if not every week. And I think I sold all of them for maybe $3,000.
Wow.
And that wasn't like raping people on the price either. That was what the market value of those patches were.
When Marsec 4 was a big deal, I had the original Paper Slayer and the original Tac Gent, and I traded them to someone for. I literally was just thinking about selling them, and at first, and then I'm like, I'll keep them. Some guy goes, well, hey, like, if you're looking to trade them, like, I'll make you a deal. So he traded me a custom-built Zachwood pry bar and a Spyderco PM2 Elemax sprint run. So, like, $400 worth of stuff for 2 patches, and I'm like, okay!
Yeah. So I kept my Paper Slayer set. That was the only thing because I do have a complete collection. With that, I have the Slayer as Fucks that he shot with a round too, and then he set the bullet casing with it and everything. So supposedly that one's worth well over $500. And
I have all of them, but the original one and the Brady Slayer, and the Slayer as Fuck one.
Yep. Yeah, it was that was actually, if something brought me into patches, it was that series alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized how quickly it was kind of hard or rare to get those patches at that time because I came in really late. So I always liked Tac Gent. I believe Paper Slayer was the reason behind that. That's why I kept those, and there's no way in heck I would ever let those go for any less than $500 for the set. And I'm in no hurry to try to sell those either. But
I don't blame you.
I think my other favorite companies as well would be, we're all in MPU, so I like Carbone stuff when I can catch a drop. Big fan of Deep South.
Deep South for sure.
think,
I just started with getting into Deep South, and I'm liking their stuff.
Oh, dude, and it's honestly, man, like when I first got into it was way easier to get in on these people's drops, even being just what I would consider a peasant in the patch game. I was still able to get the patches I wanted to collect. If you got 2, you were able to sell one for the price of drop plus another patch, so that you basically were getting your patch collection up for free. And I love that. That's capitalism at its finest and stuff. But now, man, like, there's a few times I literally sat there and wasted my time on trying to get a patch. And
anyways, okay, now that everybody's refilled, and I had to go check the laundry to make sure it was doing its thing.
That's the Daddy Brigade podcast.
Yeah.
Got other things you get to do.
Yeah. Got dad duties while doing the podcast.
Yeah.
So I know you don't post about your little one a lot, but because you said he's going to be a special operator someday.
Right. If he wants to go that route, I've already...
There you go. You got OPSEC already down. Blurred out pictures of his face already.
He snuck in on a live the other night on Facebook. I don't know if you guys caught
I did catch that one. I was like, wait a minute. He's not allowed to be on there.
Yeah, no, he totally, scooted his butt right into it. He was like, yo.
So, you said he's, 8 months now?
Yeah, actually, he'll be 9 months and 2 days.
So how's the intro to dad life treating you?
It's really good, man. The first few weeks, I really struggled with not getting any more sleep than what I was already getting. It turned me a little hateful, not to him directly, just in a sense. So I had to quickly learn to get over my pride and suck it up for him. And
yeah.
Oh no, he was basically chewing us all out online, folks. Don't let him fool you. He was chewing everybody's ass out online. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
I've been like, why aren't you sleeping? I don't get it. Everything's perfect. You got this warm house with this warm bed.
You know what? I will knock on wood. My little one, he was born 5 weeks early. He spent a week in the NICU. And when he come home, other than one little scare that we had where he ended up with, baby acid reflux, and we had to go to the emergency room because he pretty much kind of quit breathing because of the reflux. Other than that, the kid slept damn near 6 hours a night straight.
Jeez.
I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, that all 4 of my kids were like that too. I think after the first 2 weeks of being home, my oldest slept all night. Like, because when the babies are born and come home, because the wife has had to have a C-section with each kid, so she's recuperating at the same time. So I would stay up a lot later, and the kids would go down to bed, and I'd stay up for a while if they needed fed or something, and not a single time would they wake up while I was still awake.
They'd wait until he went to sleep and wake up her
and
up.
I'd be up till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And then, I would finally get so tired. I'm like, okay, I gotta sleep. And then they would sleep for another half hour, 45 minutes, and the wife would get up anyway because she'd need to pump or something. And they would be ready to eat. So it's like, okay.
See, when
Yep.
he had...
That's kind of where we're at on our... Oh, go ahead.
He had... my little one, he had to sleep kind of upright because of that. So my wife has several pictures. It got to the point where we got a little, bouncer thing, and he would sleep in it. And there's pictures of me sleeping on the floor next to the bouncer with my hand on him just to make sure he's okay. And she took a picture at 2 in the morning. He's wide awake, and I'm just passed out like this. Face down in a pillow, just passed out. And
and I think if you, like you mentioned pumping, my wife breastfeeds, man, and that creates this kind of need that I can't really fill, too. So
yeah.
I know my wife struggles a lot. Not struggles.
I'll be back.
I know my wife goes through a lot
I gotta
more
go
than I do, so I'm a sissy compared to what she's had to do.
Yeah.
But, she's a trooper, man. She's up every hour as soon as he wakes up and, giving him what he needs. Whereas me, I'm like, why can't he just sleep for 30 more minutes till we gotta get up?
Right? That's the way I am all the time. I can go to bed at 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm still sleeping through every one of my alarms and getting up at the very last minute.
I can't say anything. I come home today, picked the little dude up, hung out for a little bit, and I started getting kind of like an allergy headache. And I was like, you know what? Let's go lay down. He's like, I don't want to take a nap. Well, he's been not sleeping real well either. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll go at least lay on the bed. Next thing I know, he's playing his tablet, and I fell asleep. Finally, I think you text me, or somebody texted something, and my phone went off. And I looked over, and that was about an hour and 45-minute nap. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's time for me to get up now. 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I forgot you didn't work today.
What if I take a nap? I'm done. I can't get anything else done the rest of the day.
Oh, no, I can... That's one thing, I think, with him, from when he was little, I would come... Because I was working morning shifts, so I'd start at 4 in the morning. I'd get up at 2, start at 4, and be done by noon. And then about the time I got home, it was his nap time. So I would come home, take a nap with him, and then wake up and go about the rest of my day. And I still laugh with him. I still laugh to this day because he's like, I don't want to take a nap. I'm like, dude, once you get older, you will appreciate naps.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you got to go through what I've been through.
Yeah. And my youngest is he's starting to fight his naps in the middle of the day now that he can crawl out of his crib.
Ah, nice.
It's like, no, we've got to set as low as it'll go. It's a solid front crib, and the little bastard still figures out how to climb out.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I meant to say, I like your post the other day when you had to go pay your traffic ticket. That was impressive.
Yeah. And dude, you'd be surprised how many times a traffic ticket has turned into me selling officer patches for their department.
Oh, jeez.
Like, there's been a good 5 times that I've had follow-ups with, hey, how much would it be to get this department patch made?
Wow.
Nice.
And I usually have extra patches on my headliner, so I always give them one. Like, that's just kind of like, I drive 3,500 miles a week sometimes for work, so it's very easy for me to get caught up in the moment and speed a little bit. So I'm like, you know, hey, it's not often somebody gives you a gift when you give them a ticket. And usually I'm thinking, like, in the back of my head, maybe they'll just go back and rip that up, you know?
Yeah.
It hasn't happened like that yet.
Wow.
But still, I've got a couple patch deals out of it, so
Nice.
consider that a success.
Awesome.
We
I
have.
definitely should probably.
We're gonna have to talk to you about getting patches made soon too. So.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about that today when I didn't realize there was a page of yours I wasn't following. I don't know if it was Facebook or the YouTube, but I made sure to subscribe to everything.
I think it was YouTube.
Yeah, it was YouTube because
I know
I got the
they're-
notification.
So did I.
Okay,
That's
yeah, I
that's the
noticed
sad
that
part. Me and him.
logo, like,
He uses our. He has the email for it, but then it's also tied to my phone. So anything he does, we get a note. I get a notification for, or anything I do, he gets a notification for. So I just got a new phone over the weekend, so I had to re-sign back into everything.
Yeah, Saturday on the way here.
God.
Saturday on the way here to record, he
My
texts
phone-
me. He's like, "Did you get a new phone?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "My phone hasn't stopped for the last 45 minutes." I was like, "My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Should have warned you."
Email, Google, YouTube.
on each other.
Yeah, pretty much we can never, like,
Yeah.
do anything involving this show behind each other's back. It's not going to
No.
work.
No.
Because even if he does something that doesn't, like, send me a direct email, when I go through to check my email for the day, I'll be like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, that's for the podcast. Oh, there's another one for... Oh, okay, that's what's going on."
Yeah.
You guys have been busy lately too.
Yeah, we're trying to be.
Yeah. I'm trying to get rolling steady. We're actually going to be talking to an attorney friend about an LLC or something, possibly to work on getting our FFL and SOT stuff. So.
I want to have all of our ducks in a row, so SHOT Show next year we can all go and have some fun.
Yeah, man. Are you guys thinking about going to NRA show in Nashville?
It all depends, because two things one, I'm not a member of the NRA. And, well, no, I may still be by the NRA show. But I'm a little bit mad at the whole NRA thing because I'm not a fan of Mr. LaPierre. I think his ass needs to go.
Yeah.
I think just about everybody
I
thinks
agree.
that. But we're also, me and him are going to be down in Georgia in September shooting a precision match. So, trying to balance money and everything. I'm not sure if we'll be able to. I would like to, but we'll see what happens.
There's a lot more stuff going on in this industry than what I ever imagined, and stuff that you quickly will start once you get out there and start going to these things. You get quickly invited to other things. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep up. It's a good thing I sell a few patches a year to pay for some of this.
That's what, like, we were talking about. It's like, okay, we got to, like, step up into getting some shirts made and stuff done, and yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have inventory to bring your brand in, man. You'd be surprised how many people buy that stuff. I didn't think anybody would ever buy anything I was putting out. And you see where, we're sitting at now.
I always liked your
Like any
Opie
big
flags.
guys like stuff. Do what?
Your Opie flags that you did, I think that was the first patch. I didn't realize you did the Trump train, but the Opie flag is what I seen that I actually liked. I was like, I like that.
Yep. With the beard on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, since we all have beard, wow, I can't. I hate doing the camera thing.
Honorary red beards over here.
I got red in mine, but there's,
I've got a little. Well, I've got reddish and blonde in mine.
yeah, I've got every color of the rainbow in my
It's all
beard.
about how you feel in the heart. That's all that matters.
Well, so speaking of red beard and red hair, how do you feel not having a soul?
I mean, it hasn't bothered me until now, so.
Good. Had to get my ginger joke out of the way.
My wife is very, she makes sure I stay very humble. So.
Yeah, wives are good for that.
Yes.
Mine's good for yelling at me and then telling me that I'm a dumbass when I do something dumb.
Well, you are a dumbass, so.
Well, we all know a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just rode a dirt bike into a fence the day before Thanksgiving.
Well, that's kind of dumbassy of you.
Well, in all honesty, it was in a 60 by 90 fenced-in backyard, and I was trying to pull a wheelie on it. I didn't go through the fence. I slid into the fence. But still managed to jack up my hand a little bit, but we're good.
Yeah.
Was there alcohol involved?
No, I was sober. After that, there was alcohol.
You had to dull the pain somehow.
Well, there has to be afterwards.
You know, because Hutchko isn't going to let you go without riding your ass about it either.
Oh, no, they still do. I just went over to his house for his birthday this weekend, and he was still... He's like, oh, by the way, you bent the fender on my bike. I was like, shut up.
That was there before.
Yeah, that was already done. Just shut up. The sad part is the drunk girl managed to ride around the backyard better than I did.
Carlita?
No, one of his friends.
Oh, okay.
So, let's see. Now that we've got completely... Normally we're good on staying on topic. We are completely off topic. Which I don't...
Interviews, there is no
Yeah,
topic. It's
yeah,
just
really
gonna
there
go
isn't.
how it goes.
What's your everyday carry look like? Do you switch it up, or do you kind of carry the
Right
same
now,
gun?
So, I guess I should say with the reviews, I really try to go a different route than what most people do. So not only do we try to make our actual review entertaining, but if it's a handgun, I try to carry it too. So the only one I haven't recently carried was that 1911. I didn't have a holster made yet for it, and it's just a retro 1911. So it was kind of
2 World Wars.
No-brainer not to carry that. Yeah, 2 World Wars, but I hope it not to go to World War III when I was carrying it that day.
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty close. You're pretty close to the front down there.
Yeah, it's closing in. It seems like, man, it's a hot topic for sure. But we got the duty version from them, so I am going to have a holster made for this one and actually carry this one.
Oh, nice.
For 30 days. So I do switch my carry gun around a lot right now, but if it's my ideal carry, it's a Glock 19. I like definitely shooting the RMR now, so it would probably be very similar to this setup. And ghost spring trigger on it, threaded barrel for sure. I would probably keep the comp on it, but I'm okay if it doesn't have the comp as well. And I'm a big fan of fiber optic sights too. So if I'm not using a red dot, I use the Z Technology fiber optics.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's a blacked out rear, 4-inch dot.
Nice.
But I've always been able to pick those up the best, and eventually it'll probably be this frame with the RMR cut, but this is a Gen 4 and my current setup with the RMR is a Gen 3, so I'm going to have to get a whole new slide cut and possibly even get a new RMR and everything too.
Yeah, you could never have too many RMRs.
It's expensive as hell, dude.
Yeah.
On that dad budget, that ain't really working. Trying to get Trinity
I'm actually looking at the Holosun 507 because it has the same exact.
Yes, man. Like, I have not heard one bad thing lately about Holosun. It's pretty crazy.
It has the same exact footprint as the RMR too, so I'm like, well, might as well just get a cut for it and just go with it.
And if it doesn't work, maybe it lasts you at least till the time you can get the money to save up for a RMR. So
After the wife is done screaming at me for breaking it or something, whatever.
Yeah.
listen, you got to figure out a way to hide the money. That's on you. But all you got to say is, I won it in a giveaway. That's been my line. Hopefully she's not watching this. It's been the line for the last 3 years. Or maybe they sent it to me to do a review on.
See, that's starting to be able to be used. That's the nice part. That's starting to be able to be used.
They sent it for a review.
How many companies just sent you gun parts? A lot. I've got to review all of these while I'm building my own rifle.
Each individual one
Yeah.
wants us to do this.
Yeah.
And this one company that sent us 6 parts wants us to, talk about each individual one. Better keep my mouth down. She's probably still awake.
Probably. Shh.
Do you have any other hobbies other than firearms? Like, whiskey, cigars, writing novels?
I like a good bourbon. Definitely a beer drinker. I've got like all the battlefields and all that stuff. I like to play video games, but really, man, I have no time to do anything lately but work, be a dad, and then try to squeeze in the Opie and the Smokies stuff on the side right now. So it really takes up about 100% of my free time.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I always try to be family first, so I always set, aside the time to do what my wife needs and my kid needs. And
Yep.
if I have to stay up till 4 in the morning doing my thing, then I'm all game for it, because at least it didn't affect them in a way.
The nice part is once they get a little bit older, they get a little bit more independent, a little bit. So then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I could squeeze in like 5 more minutes here or something.
Yeah. My son did just get his first gun in to my FFL today. They were sending pics and making me jealous.
Oh, yeah, I saw those.
Over there.
Oh, what'd you get him?
The mini Mosin.
Oh, the mini Mosin.
Keystone Sporting. Yeah, they sent me that little mini Mosin, man. That thing is freaking badass. We got to shoot it at the IBAA shoot. And he said he was sending me one, and I was like, man, that's the boy's first gun right there. So
nice.
really excited to have that one. And then they were like, we shot it and everything at the gun store.
That's one thing that I will say with my little boy, being that I'm a shooter and my dad is a hunter and has a lot of firearms. Basically, I got a call one day and my dad goes, oh, hey, by the way, I got him his first AR. And I was like, he's 3, but okay. And he goes, oh, no, I got him a 22 AR. And he got him the Smith & Wesson M&P Magpul Edition. Well, then that turned into another bolt action 22. And then my dad's going to let him use the 22 Smith & Wesson race pistol. And then my stepdad got him 2 22s, and now Glock released that Model 44, which, when it comes out, I'll be buying it for him, so he has a Glock.
Yep.
I was like, well, you can't go wrong starting a kid off with 22s, so.
No, not at all. As much as I dog the 44, I'm definitely going to buy one.
Oh, yeah. That's, when I seen that, I was like.
I was more upset with the actual amount of hype they built up around that, and I was
kind of expecting a pistol, like a pistol AR. I was kind of like, oh, they're going to do a pistol caliber carbine. That's going to be kind of cool. Like that was my thought for how much hype they were bringing.
Yeah, or the 19 long. Like I keep freaking saying, like if they just do the 19 long, I think they'd be surprised how well it would do, because that's exactly what this is with the P80. It's your 19 grip with your 17 frame. Or your slide, and you can actually put a 34 on this too to make it a 19 XL. And I think overall people like the 19 the best because of the grip.
See, that's why I'm buying a 45, which is the reverse of that. I like the 45.
Yeah, it was a fun. I've got a 19X, basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm. One of our mutual friends has a 45 that's all Gucci'd out, and he's like, you really should get a 45. I was like, and then one of my coworkers went and bought one, and a couple other people I know have shot them, and they're like, you should get a 45. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get a 45 to go with my 19.
Have you shot a 19X yet?
No, I have not.
Shoot a 19X before you buy a 45.
Really?
Yeah.
I will have to do that. I don't know if I know anybody that has a 19X.
I reviewed the 45, and I ended up going and buying the 19X. And I had the 45 for a good 30 days. Yeah.
Wow. So let's see.
That's my personal opinion. I would never say my opinion is for everybody, but I was not as impressed with the 45 as I was with the 19X. Like I think they kind of were in the right direction with the 19X, and then they kind of stopped with the 45 in a sense.
I just don't like the
So
color
I
of
think
the
the 19X
19X.
has a better trigger.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
the
not-
sights are better.
I am not a fan of flat dark earth too much. Like I think it needs to be broken up. And I don't know if I could do a completely flat dark earth gun or desert tan or whatever the heck they want to call it.
Is it worth getting it and then having it Cerakoted? Spending the extra money on a Cerakote?
That's actually what I'm going to do with mine, because I don't like flat dark earth either. I've actually, my whole thing with my guns, I may have a little orange, like with the grips and the tensions and stuff, but it's black and gray on everything from now on for me.
Yeah.
I actually have all my parts over there sitting on, like, my AR parts and everything, all the flat dark earth stuff sitting over there unused. It'll probably never be used. It'll probably eventually be traded for more black and gray stuff.
Yeah, because I don't like the flat dark earth, period. And I was looking at it and like, I like the way it felt, because, I carry a Springfield XD9. I don't have any Glocks, and I want to get one. I'm like, well, do I go with like a Gen 4, a Gen 5, a 19X? And I just didn't like the color. I liked the way it felt, but I didn't like the color. I'm like, and that's kind of a turnoff. But if the cost of having it Cerakoted outweighs the con, gives you that balance that you want.
But you guys met, you talked to Jay. I mean, he's one of the most reasonable pricing I've ever heard. So, and we have a discount through us too. So you can get, I think, Jay, if you're in here, what would it cost to get a 19X Cerakoted for the whole thing? But my idea is I'm going to have it Cerakoted, and then they're going to stipple it afterwards, which will bring out that flat dark earth grip.
Well,
so it'll be gray.
It'll be kind of like a battle worn look to it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, that kind of threw me off. Sorry, I had to go run and switch laundry, doing more dad stuff. Well, my washer went off balance, so that's why I had to run and kick it one time.
Oh, it started acting like it was about to break through something?
No. Like, it's this one, if it goes off balance, it says the load's uneven and just stops. So you have to go and move stuff around and then start it again. And it's no big deal to start. Like
somebody is jumping up and down with bricks in a sack.
We'll put it this way. We live in a 100-year-old farmhouse. And if the load isn't uneven completely where the machine will sense it, but it's off just a little bit, the whole house shakes. That's the downside of living in
you live in a farmhouse, you got land to shoot out there?
Yes and no.
Football field.
The township just built a freaking football field basically right off the edge of my backyard. But the field right next to it is my family field that my stepdad owns and farms out of. So we do get to shoot in it, and it's from where we shoot at to the tree line is a good 375 yards. Well, then 50 yards inside that tree line is a perfect little natural berm. And but we own most of that woods too. We own quite a bit of property right behind my house. So, plus we have some local shooting ranges that are public ranges that are pretty good. There's one not too far from us that they just finished doing their 1,000-yard range.
Yeah, and
Nice.
yeah, and I've got 160 acres that I can go play on whatever I want, as long as I don't mess with my dad's crops. He doesn't care.
Don't quit bragging already. No, I would love to, dude. That's the dream right there. We've got, you've seen the videos of our range. It's 75 acres, but we're really only using about maybe 10 of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, to have something like that is the dream. 160 acres, you do what you want.
Let's see here. So, other than your pistol for your EDC, what do you carry? Like med kit, knife, handcuffs? Any of the fun stuff.
My knife for the truck. Right now, I have the. I think it's the CRKT. Oh, it's the one. It's like a really stabby, pointed looking one.
The M16.
No, that was the folder. I have a couple of those. It is... Crap, I can't think of the name. Starts at the S, I believe. There's two of them that... I bought this one, And then I bought the smaller one as well. So I bought this one thinking it would be my fixed blade setup.
Oh wow, that is really pointy and stabby looking.
Yeah.
This is the Dragon from CRKT, but I have the smaller version of this, and it has almost like a what's that company that makes VZ grips? It almost has like a VZ grip style handle on it, and it's just a little bit smaller. But I love the CRKT blades, so I usually carry one of those. I usually have a truck gun if I go further than about 100 miles away from the house. So right now, this is my truck gun.
Nice.
So we put this 7.5-inch build together with a lot of stuff from Jay. We did the kind of the brief Facebook Live review with the Black Slate. I think Black Slate Industries was their name.
Yeah, Black
The
Slate
full
Industries.
covers. Yeah.
I have
They
to order
still
a couple
sell-
of those soon.
Dude, they are nice, man. Like I have some rail grips too. They're just as nice as rail grips,
Nice.
and they're a third of the price.
Yeah, I seen that.
And then we got the new Cane Arms brace on here. This is a prototype deal. This is supposed to be, actually, I think he's selling them now. These are supposed to be the lightest brace on the market, and they go directly on your mil spec tube.
Oh wow.
And then we just got the Sylvan Arms folder in as well.
Nice. Does that allow you to shoot while it's folded still?
No, you can shoot one, but it becomes a bolt gun.
Nice.
But yeah, this is my new truck gun setup. I usually have 3 or 4 20-round mags with me if I'm carrying this. I have a med kit. Usually have 3 to 4 tourniquets in that med kit, as well as like dressings and all that stuff. Anything I think I may need.
Well, that kind of
Probably
brings,
don't have the.
talking with the med kit stuff, that brings us into another question. What do you think about civilians taking like TCCC or Stop the Bleed courses or stuff like that?
Absolutely. Did you see our brief? I've actually got a lot of videos I need to post on this. We took the class at the IV-88 range day of Skinny Medic, and we like shooting's quick Stop the Bleed class. And that was the first time I've ever taken a class where I literally had to put my fingers in something and try to stop the bleed, and that was pretty eye-opening to see.
Wow.
Because
No.
I definitely was the one that got it done and got cocky. I went really quick, even heard somebody in the background like, man, he's the one I want to plug my hole. You know, that's what she said type of joke came out. But
Oh, jeez.
as I'm fucking sitting there doing that, I get done, I'm like, all right, so it's good. And then Josh Courtney at Black Diamond sits there, he's the one squeezing the blood jug. And he squeezes it again, and starts squirting out over me and my white shirt. I'm like, oh no, it's not. Just stick my fingers back in it and try to plug the hole.
Nice.
What was it like
But
learning
I
from
definitely
Dietrich?
would've- if it was you guys, I would have had to be like, man, I'm sorry, I thought I had it. So. But I'm really into, like, once my boy gets a little bit older and, like you said, a little bit more independent to where I can go on these, like, 2 to 3 day training trips and stuff like that, I'll be taking more medical classes worked in with my actual rifle and pistol classes, too.
So how'd you get hooked up with IV-8888?
That was kind of through patches, actually. Brandy, his wife, is a big patch collector.
Oh, nice.
Helped her with a few things. She had mentioned us getting invited to the shoot, and that was kind of, we've been to 2 years in a row now, so that was almost 3 years ago. And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great, just let me know. Well, like a week or two before, no, I'd say it's probably a month before, Fit and Fire. Do you guys follow him?
Yeah, I think I do, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's a great dude as well. He follows our page, and he was like, hey, are you going to the IV shoot? And I was like, she had mentioned something about it, but I probably slept through fell through the cracks this year. And he was like, hang on, stand by. And within 2 minutes, I had my invite to the show,
Nice.
or to the shoot.
Nice.
So we went out, and then we make them a custom patch each year and give it to Chad, Eric, and Brandy. And then we kind of take our own swag packs and give out. And that's really it's a great place to go and shoot cool guns, but I treat it as like this is your chance to meet me face to face and meet the person who'd be making your patches. So I've gotten more patch business from these little side shoots like the IV shoot and the BDU shoot instead of actually the NRA show.
Oh, nice. Cool. That's kind of what I would like to eventually be able to do, is go to like little shoots just to kind of get like the face with the name of the podcast and be able to hang out with some, you know, some of the top level guys, or just all around just guys in the industry, and, you know, just to be able to hang out with like-minded people. That's my big thing, is being able to shoot and hang out with people.
It would be too hard to get you guys into something like that if you're willing to go to it. I mean, it's definitely, you know, it's just as extensive, if not more, than traveling to the NRA show. Usually there's a lot more people going to the NRA show, and a lot easier to book with people.
Mm-hmm.
With these Georgia shoots, they're a lot more low-key, and you only have a couple hundred people going as opposed to a couple thousand people that you may know
yeah.
that are going to be out there that you can hang out with.
Well, that's like when I did the USCCA Expo, I got to... Every time I bring that up, you're still salty.
I am salty because I was in Missouri.
He had to go to a wedding in Missouri, and I got to go play with new firearms and talk to...
Jerk.
Let's see. Instructor... Oh, I got to talk to Instructor Zero, John Lovell, and James Yeager. And
nice.
This one was salty. Like
I'm really salty about Lovell.
Oh, don't worry. I was that good friend, and as soon as I got a picture with Lovell, I sent it to him.
That's one of the idols right there. I mean, that dude's like...
Yeah.
He was super nice guy. Him and Instructor Zero. A lot of people, like, I don't like Instructor Zero, da-da-da-da-da. Well, I finally figured out, and after going to one of his little classes while we were there, like his seminar
thing.
I understand why he's so hard to understand. He's what did I say? Italian and South African?
Something, I don't remember.
He's originally was born in Italy and then is South African or something like that. So, like, no wonder the dude his accent is like so mixed. No wonder he's so hard to understand. But super nice guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I ruined one of...
I had a picture with him, and he's so short.
He is. I was expecting a lot taller guy, and then I seen him, I was like, oh my god, he's short. I actually... I may or may not have ruined one of Cert's pistols at his seminar. He was showing about concealing in different countries, how they would do it. And he says, anybody got a roll of medical tape? I do. Reached in my bag, and I threw in my roll of medical tape. And he had one of Cert's laser guns there. And he wrapped the whole grip in medical tape. And they couldn't get it off. Like, when I walked out, I apologized to the guy. I was like, sorry if I ruined your gun. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We got a bunch of them.
And those guys are awesome, too. Like, I met the CERT guys at our first NRA show, and they hooked me up with the CERT gun when I was just getting started.
Oh, nice.
Gave me a really, really good deal on one. They already had the NRA show, but they were like, hey, let us know that this is what you do. And I think that's stuff you guys need to take advantage of. People are so willing to talk and help in this industry, I figured out. I mean, I've only met a handful of dickheads.
I'm learning that, especially with being able to message like you and Jay and Ash and these guys and be like, hey, do you guys want to come on an episode and just kind of talk about your guys' self and BS about guns? And everybody's been like, yeah, sure. Like, I just, like, some of these guys, I was not expecting that answer. It's like, oh, crap, what do I do now?
And that's the way the industry is heading. Like, if you're not jumping aboard this digital marketing, social media train, you're going to get left behind really quick.
Yeah.
And the world is now influencers. Anybody can be an influencer. You know, I don't think I'm this awesome influencer by any means.
You are.
No, I've been able to do way more things with doing the few things we've done than I ever could have imagined doing in my lifetime, and it's just because we kind of took a chance and went with it. It's pretty crazy, man. It's awesome. It's exhausting for sure because you got to try to keep up with putting out good content constantly. I know that is a pressure that you automatically start feeling once you get serious about it. But if it's something that really means a lot to you, that natural motivation overcomes that stress, you know. So it's always kind of a fun
I
balance.
think we
I really do have people like, and then you put a video out, and everybody's like, "Man, this is the best video yet." And you're like, "Okay, well, I thought this one sucked."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did that with the AR-15 when we did the AR-15 episode, talking about the AR-15. We did the first one, and it sucked so bad that, like, me and him listened to just the preview of it, and I called him. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna redo that one." And he's like, "Good," because I was gonna ask if we could redo it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, I like doing this, you know, and it's, I have to have, because I got 4 kids, and my wife doesn't work, and I have to have a heads up notice of something. Like, I can't drop, at the drop of a hat, go do something.
And that's kind of the same with me.
Infuriates me.
a little bit same with me because of my work schedule. So, like, I'm off Sunday and Mondays, but I get home at 7 o'clock at night. Well, 7:45 at night. So, like, if people want to stay up later and talk, cool, like, I can do that. But he's also got all the software.
Yep.
And now he has to show me how to use the new stuff since I downloaded the old stuff.
I'm still using it.
Is doing like a satellite where you guys are both at your own homes an option?
We do occasionally. My
We have
internet's
occasionally.
a bit slower, so it kind of lags a bit because we have a Verizon hotspot for our internet because my other property because I work on social media for I got a Solutions. I post for, like, I got a Subaru, I got a Duramax, I got an STI, and I got a Jeep. I do posting 3 times a day, so I have to have network, internet access. And my other property, I don't get cell service down there, and literally there are 0 internet providers that provide for the address in my other property. So I have to have something that's mobile.
Yeah.
The funny thing is all of those things that he said, he doesn't. Well, you do have a Subaru. I was going to say, other than that, he doesn't have an STI, a WRX, or a Duramax, or a Jeep.
Nope.
But he does have a Subaru.
Yep. And it's, like, of course, the camera. It's
Here.
right there.
Yeah, he's tattooed.
I got the
with-
logo.
Here, let me turn that for you. So I think. How long do you want to go, man? We've been going for like an hour and some already.
Yeah, we can start wrapping it up here anytime.
All right.
Did you guys get through everything you wanted to ask?
There's
I know you said we got distracted a little bit.
a little bit. Well, I can combine two of the questions. What do you think with everything going on in Virginia? Are we getting close to the Big Igloo Boogaloo? And what are your thoughts on the current status of the Second Amendment?
Oh man, my opinion's probably going to piss a few people off, especially a few people I know. But dude, I think we're the closest we've ever been. I hate saying it, and I really, really hate seeing the divide between us and police and government right now. But I think government has severely overstepped their boundaries for a very long time. I think the police in Virginia are doing exactly what police everywhere need to be doing, saying that they're not going to enforce this stuff. I've heard from several people and seen several posts online that really seem to put this, like, well, police are here for you and you should just know that mentality out. And that really bothers me a lot because I don't care if that's the case or not. I think you should be proactive in letting us know that you're not going to come out here and try to kill us and take our guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And not saying it's ever going to get to that. That's a very, very far extreme of this boogaloo thing. But I think we're just so polarized that now even in our own industry, in our own community of the Second Amendment and the gun world, that we're all divided in ourselves too. And I could see this going completely the wrong way. We saw what happened with Whiskey Warrior.
Yep.
He played every single one of us. Luckily, I was asleep that night.
Yeah, you missed an absolute shit show, that's for sure. I was one of the ones that ate crow the next morning, that's for sure.
Dude, and I praise the Lord that I was not awake for that because I totally would have been jumping on his side. In the original, not knowing what the actual news was and stuff, and that's a scary thought to think that the big igloo could pop off something that's not even legitimate, and then we are already starting off on a bad foot. I think if Virginia does get to the point to where they start shooting innocent people, then you have a completely different scenario playing out, and I say the big igloo should be happening. I think no matter what happens from this moment on, I think every single politician should be looking at what's happened in Virginia and think, like, maybe these people aren't so much of a pushover as we thought.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of what I'm hoping that comes out of this whole thing eventually is people look and go, yeah, maybe we really need to step back and think before we start trying to push these people over because they're not going to go lightly.
And I'm very, very, very tired of, and I was talking to several people about this the past few days. I don't remember a time before George Bush, even during George Bush's status. I remember, like, that was right when I was starting to get into high school and stuff when George Bush was president. So you started getting these personalities with your friends of who was different based off political beliefs. You know, you start figuring that stuff out really quickly. But before Bush, I never remember everybody being so against each other that didn't agree with him. And I don't know how that's ever going to get fixed. And I don't think that there's anything ever going to fix that. I think it's just going to get worse and worse to the point of a civil war or a catastrophe event that just really, like, either wipes us out or, you know, like, you can't even describe what is going to happen or even imagine because we're playing history that's never been played before. Like, most people never make it to this far in history before they wipe themselves out.
Wow, I never thought of it in that perspective. So the last, there's the last two questions we have here. What's your favorite gun, favorite caliber, and favorite optic?
Favorite caliber for sure, 9mm. I'm a big 9mm fanboy. I think 9mm ballistics have come a very long way in the past couple of years. And that you could put a 9mm carry round, you know, on that top 5 level against anything in 40 and 45 and still be good in the streets.
Now, are you a Glock fanboy too?
Yes, 100%. But I will never limit myself to just Glocks. I personally
neither do
Glocks because it's best for me. But I am loving the fact that I have a couple of 1911s now. I've never had that, so that's been the gun I've been picking up every time I come down here and just kind of play around. You know, I really want a Hudson. What is it? An M9? Is that or C9 or whatever the Hudson is that went under? They're the ones that have the crazy design with I believe the barrels under the bore. Or the barrel's on the bottom part of the slide instead of the top, so the actual recoil spring and everything's above it.
Wow, I haven't seen that.
I could be wrong on this, too.
As Keith picks up his phone and starts Googling.
Hudson came out with this gun a few years ago, and it was pretty mind-blowing, the technology behind it, but then they went bankrupt, and they, like, didn't get a bunch of orders out and stuff, so they completely went under.
I remember hearing about that.
The H9?
Is it the H9?
H9, yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that even looks cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cool gun, and I thought it was really cool. Now they're saying, like, I guess there are a few companies who have now picked up making aftermarket parts for it because they break a lot.
Oh, nice.
But there was they were talking like, we're not going to make parts, we're not going to do anything, sorry about you, you're shit out of luck. That's the kind of way they went out. So we'll probably not be seeing a bunch of Hudson anymore in the
wow.
future.
So we got caliber.
Said favorite gun, like overall, anything?
Yeah,
anything, whether it's
MP5.
Yes! I'm an MP5 fanboy.
Yeah, I will have, if it costs me my liver, I will have a full auto MP5 before I die.
Wow, at least he's... If you ever make
you
it
can give a loaf of your liver, Zach.
Yeah, I can't give up my liver. If you ever make it up to Ohio and we get our FFL, you can gladly come up and play with our MP5 when we get one.
He's gonna have one.
I will have one under a dealer sample.
Did you see that post I made today with I think it's New Frontier Armory, or maybe Palmetto State, but they have the AR9 kit, but it basically is like a modern MP5.
It's a New Frontier Armory C5, and they accept the MP5 magazines, which oh my god is sticker shock for an MP5 mag. A lot of people were like, oh, they can't be that expensive, and then you go look and they're $65 for a single mag. I was just like, no.
Have you seen my buddy Chase, who shoots with us? He's the one, like, in the night vision video, had the MP5 SD and stuff.
Uh-huh.
You should have seen that dude looking at the range for a mag when he thought he had lost one.
Oh, I bet. They are not cheap.
No, not at all. But I would love to have. We thought we were actually going to get a PTR there for a little bit, and they kind of talked us up big time. We actually went out to dinner with them at the NRA show, came back, did a video with them. They're like, anything you guys need, just send us an email. I sent 2 emails, and I'm not about like bugging somebody for a product.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to send something to me, obviously you'll see the email or not, but kind of just at that point, I just was like, all right, cool. I guess I'm not going to be 5 minutes. So hopefully one of these days we'll have one.
Oh, don't worry. I think Palmetto State Armory is about, like, either they're going to release it or they're going to just keep pulling us all on a string for their MP5, because after SHOT Show last year, they literally got bombarded on anybody that posted a picture of that MP5 that they had at SHOT Show last year. I know we posted a picture, a couple people tagged Palmetto in questions, other companies, I mean, just constantly tagging them, and they finally came out and they're like, yeah, we're working on it. And that's all they told anybody. Like, it'll be out, we just don't know when.
Yep. No hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your favorite optic?
That's a tough one. Favorite optic that I've seen or that I currently own? Is that 2 different answers?
It's
whatever you
want.
All right. So I'm a big Vortex fan. If I'm going to buy an optic, I'll buy Vortex right now. So I really like the Spark red dot system. I have 5 Strike Fire 2s. I love the Strike Fire 2 as well, but those were like the first ones I kind of got into, and I kind of turned more into the micro dot system. I really am on this lightweight kick, so I try to build everything as lightweight as possible with my AR builds. I have one that's dedicated to long range shooting, and it could be as heavy as it wants, but it still comes in at like 6 pounds.
See, I have a Strike Eagle on my general purpose rifle.
Yeah,
and I was like, it's a 1-6. I'm like, I don't plan on going past 600 yards, if that far. So yeah, 1-6 is perfect.
If you're shooting at something that's 600 yards away, you're just giving away your position at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. And the last question. Well, go ahead. Talk about the optics more if you want.
No, I was just going to say, I saw this, and I can't remember the exact model, but it was at the NRA show. They had a mini, I believe it was a mini ACOG, and it had an orange reticle. And not just because it was orange, but it was just this crystal clear mini ACOG. Of course, it was like $3,000, but I thought that was like one of the coolest optics I've ever seen. Futuristic, not ever being able to afford in my lifetime, probably. We went to the BDU shoot last month. It was in November. And the guys from Leviathan Group had the optic that the Punisher used in the series, and it was the thermal optic.
Oh, jeez.
The same exact one. They were actually the ones that lived out that optic. So we were holding that optic from the Netflix series in our hand. And funny story about this, when I got into this conversation, I walked out to piss in the cornfield about 20 yards away from the actual pavilion. And I was like, this is weird. I feel somebody looking at me. And I look over my shoulder, and about 50 yards back, there's this group of guys using this thermal optic. And I had no idea who they were at the time, what they were doing, but I was like, are you all enjoying the show type of deal? But I walk up and introduce myself, and then I sit there and watch people pee on this thermal optic for about the next 30 minutes.
I think the one optic that
I was the guy yelling like, "Oh man, you ain't hitting shit out there."
I think the one optic that caught my attention last year, and I don't know if they're doing it, is the Steiner optic that had the that we seen at SHOT Show. It was like a regular red dot, but then down in the corner or smack dab, I don't know if it was the corner or in the middle, it was like a thermal optic built into the red dot. And I was like, that.
Like Predator?
Yeah! I was like, that needs to be happening and should not be costing me, half of my mortgage.
Saying a minimum of like $10,000.
Yeah, yeah.
The optic we were holding at that BDU shoot was $16,000, and I was just like, at first I thought he said 16, like 1,600.
Yeah.
I was like, that ain't bad at all. Then he was like, don't drop it. I was like, I mean, 16. I had a few beers. It's like 1,600, bro. This ain't nothing. He's like 16,000. I was like, here
you go.
Optic back.
The last question. I'll let you ask him the last question.
What, this one?
Yes, that one. That one.
Okay.
Because I think it needs to be asked by everybody.
Yeah, everybody needs that.
Well, yeah.
Did Epstein kill himself?
Absolutely not.
So far, that's the answer we've gotten from everybody.
That's the consensus.
I think that's the general consensus.
Right?
But is he even dead?
I don't know, man. It's hard not to put a tinfoil hat on these days.
Right. Well, that's because I saw one thing. They showed his ear print, when he was alive, and then they took the picture of the dead body, and the ear print is completely different.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny that the guards got arrested.
Yeah.
Then we heard one guard was talking, and then we haven't heard anything since.
Yeah. Everybody's just quiet about it.
Well, everybody got suicided. That's why.
I think Clinton's killed everybody that was involved, and they're still sitting there at the desk with the noose around their neck.
Yep.
So
Holy shit, we can't talk about all these murders.
oh yeah, next we'll be having black SUVs pull up in front of our house.
Yeah.
I hope y'all are ready.
Boogaloo boy, the Boogaloo boys go at it with the Alphabet Boys.
The Boogaloo started on the Big Daddy Brigade podcast.
Yep. The Daddy Brigade podcast in the Smokies, and the Boogaloo boys are here. So where can all of our listeners and the ones that are watching find you at?
So, if you want to see our actual videos, like our content videos, go to our YouTube channel. It's just Opie and the Smokies, like you see on the screen here. Our Facebook and Instagram is the same. Instagram has no spaces in it. We do the most posting to Facebook. YouTube actually just passed 1,000 tonight.
I seen that.
So we, like John Patton over at the Gun Collective shared our page on GunTuber of the Week, so that blew us up tonight. So it was
nice.
It was a really good day being able to do that, come on the podcast, and a bunch of other patch stuff in the works. So it's been a good Monday for sure. That normally doesn't happen.
Yeah, Mondays usually
so
suck.
we also have a website, opingsmokies.com. We got a little bit of some swag up there right now. It'll be restocked by spring with a bunch of new products. I get messages every day about my hats and my shirts, so I guess that will definitely be some of the products that'll be restocked, and then probably a few new designs on those as well.
And those bands.
And the bands. Hopefully the bands before then. I won't make you wait 3 months for that.
Are there any pitter-patter patches left, by any chance?
There are. There actually are.
I might have
so
to
if you guys text me an address to send you a care package, and I'll try to get it out this week to you.
Sweet.
I'll let you send an address. So I've got one last question, because you had mentioned, what is your obsession with orange?
I've always so growing up, I was a big dude. I really thought I was, for whatever reason, gonna be. I don't know how to describe this with being politically correct. I was a wankster. So
I have seen the pictures.
Allen Iverson was one of my idols growing up for whatever reason. Always wore Jordan shoes. So red, white, and black was my colors growing up. But moving to Tennessee, I think it's when it kicked in like the Vol colors. So we're a little bit different color orange than what the Tennessee Vols are. But I love the orange, gray, white, and black combination. And I don't think there's very many other combinations that really set apart or can make a statement like those colors do together. And it kind of gives us an unlimited option on putting all those colors together as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of that was one of the questions I was thinking about. I feel like I gotta ask him what this obsession with orange is, because everything has orange.
Well, it's you and your zombie green.
Yeah, I can't argue. I do have an obsession with zombie green. Like I have a belt from one of your lovely state neighbors there, SOE, and it's black with zombie green.
That's awesome.
That's one of my goals, is to have him on sometime eventually. But John is so busy. I'm like, it'll be one of those like, hey, if you get a spare moment within the next 3 years, just hit me up.
Anytime you want, we'll be ready.
So, well, I think we've got all the questions asked. Anything you want to ask us?
Any shameless plugs? Anything?
Yeah, any shameless plugs?
No, man, not at all. We don't have any hot products out right now. I really appreciate you guys having us on. I'm glad we finally were able to work out this to get on here. I had a really good time tonight.
Thanks, man. I had a great time interviewing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys have a good thing going. I'm really glad you guys are interviewing, everybody that you have been. I think you guys are on to something good, so just keep at it. Try to get to as many of these shows and things as you can. You can always drop me as a reference. I'd be happy to put my name in to try to get you anywhere.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
you.
so much.
Appreciate that. If you want to hang out for a couple more minutes, we'll wrap up the recording on our end, and then
Okay.
give us a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
All right, folks. With that, that pretty much ends another episode with another guest.
Yep.
I'm not going to screw it up
You're not
tonight.
gonna screw it up
I
tonight.
almost did.
Yeah.
I'm Zach, the Tactical Gnome.
Keith the Bearded Tank.
Daddy Brigade Podcast, out.